dear Mr. Chairman, dear professors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to say thank you for the kind and honorable invitation to be here and to have a discussion on some ethical aspects of AI applications on the Today conference with the title The Savior of Science. Our session's theme is Christian responses to contemporary challenges with a special focus of artificial intelligence. My research in this topic is balancing innovation and integrity, ethical challenges in regulating AI for sustainability, for a sustainable future. So, in the Today conference, my presentation will be in green line because my research is in the intersection of AI applications, ethical questions, and sustainability. After the yesterday's and the today's lectures, you surely have a very nuanced and a complex picture in your head about AI applications. In my presentation, I seek to answer the question, what ethical issues arise from application of AI? And on the second hand, how this might pave the way of regulating AI, how to find an appropriate AI regulation. And as we in the previous lecture heard, there is a black box phenomenon, and to find the appropriate AI regulation, we can achieve a special white box phenomenon as an answer. And finally, I would like to highlight that the activity of the Catholic Church in this area is forward-looking. For modern humanity, one of the biggest challenges to recognize and to make conscious that human being is more than some utilities, some form of usefulness. Introducing the perspective of creation care is one way to achieve this. Protecting the created world is not just some religiously coded environmentalism, and not just protecting nature. The role of human is in the core of it, because humans bear responsibility for the created world, and in this meaning, creation care is the broadest way of life protection. The phenomena of the digital age and the application of AI exert a tremendous pull on young people. There is a business-based and a mind-driven competition for their attention. And at the same time, they are withdrawing from nature, spending hardly any time in the natural environment in which they were created. They no longer flip through the book of nature, which could mean or serve them inspiration, resources, catalyst, and a physical and mental pharmacy at the same time. From the perspective of creation care, I would divide the phenomenon of AI into two parts. On one hand, the direct impacting humans, and on the other, those affecting nature. And the effects on human can also be split into two. A first is which manifesting on a societal, sociological level, for example, deepening economic injustices, inequalities, and on the other hand, which are appearing in an individual level, for example, the digital addictions, or the violation of the cognitive freedom, and and those consequences, like the reduction of an individual's social sensitivity. But AI applications has also a very positive aspect in the field of environmental protection as well. When shaping environmental regulation, the first step is always assessment. AI systems represent a significant progress in this regard, for example, in mapping emissions of hazardous substances, for example, methane. Historically, for instance, the activities of ships were purely documented, which limits our understanding how to use or how to protect the ocean, world's largest resource. By combining the satellite technology and the AI applications, those together, there are AI models by which the ocean is now visible we have never seen before. For example, this is a platform called Marine Sand Watch, monitors large ships, vessels, dredging sand, sediment, rocks in marine environment globally or worldwide. And they using automatic identification systems which provides identification data and real-time location data and equips states and industry, for example, negotiate with the United Nations Environmental Programme to provide or to improve these dredging standards globally. Numerous institutions and research groups are working on developing AI frameworks that prioritize sustainability goals and emphasizing the issue of environmental footprint of AI applications regarding the precautionary principle. Despite these studies, the environmental footprint of AI cannot yet be precisely determined, and the reason is, on one hand, the complexity of the impacts, and on the other hand, the scarcity of data. There are also a negative side of the explosive spread of AI applications. The enormous, complex, and ever-growing data centers hosting AI servers generate electric waste. These infrastructures relieve critical minerals and rare elements, which are often mined unsustainable. Additionally, they consume enormous amounts of electricity, contributing to the emission of greenhouse gases that warm the planet. The second issue, that data centers produce electronic waste, which often contains hazardous materials, for example, mercury and lead. Thirdly, data centers use a lot of water during the construction and after by using these construction and using this infrastructure. And this must be considered in the light of the fact that 1/4 of humanity already lacks access to clean water and sanitary conditions globally. The idea of sustainable development comes from the 1970s. So it was born on the first International Environmental Conference, which was organized in Stockholm in 1972. And the sustainable development encompasses the rational management with the non-renewable resources. It prioritizes the using of the renewable resources. It means a consideration of the interest of future generations, and the fourth element is assistance from developed countries to developing ones. But the widespread application of AI necessitates a complete rethinking of research management because of these problems. How can we emerging bioethical problems then? In addition to legal regulation, ethical codes also play a role. According to the United Nations Environmental Programme Survey, more than 190 countries have adopted a series of non-binding recommendations on the ethical use of AI, which also extend on environmental questions. This may offer a hope that the intentions show in the same direction, because also these recommendations, these ethical codes are not legally binding. They reflect a kind of social consensus on ethical expectations. And there are some recurring elements. For example, may should stay in control. And robotic liability should be excluded. Then transparency, one of the most important, transparency. The role of environmental and sustainability elements. The non-discrimination principle. The role of education is fundamental. The importance of international cooperation. And finally, a common element in ethical AI codes is the prohibition of arms racing. The principles of international environmental law can serve as an analogy for regulating AI. Why is it so? Because environmental regulation has frequently faced with challenges arising from both the rapid technological advancement and the unexpected risks. So what kind of principles could help us to create an appropriate AI regulation? The first and the most important principle is the precautionary principle. This principle was born in the 1970s as well in Stockholm at the UNOP conference. Precautionary principle, what does it mean? It mandates, this principle mandates caution when scientific uncertainty exists about potential harm. The second principle, intergenerational equity. This principle ensures that current AI use does not violate future generations' right to resources and a stable environment. The third principle, circular economy. It promotes resource efficiency, urging AI systems to minimize waste and energy consumption. And the last principle is resilience, which means that AI should boost societal and ecological adaptability to challenges like climate change. The EU legal framework, for example, the AI Act, seeks harmony between ethics and sustainability, but tensions persist. What kind of tensions are there? First of all, innovation versus caution, because the precautionary principle slows AI deployment and frustrating economic goals. The second problem is the global competitiveness. Stricter EU regulations may disadvantage local firms against less regulated competitors, for example, who lives in the USA or in China. And the third problem is that enforcement gaps remain, and these gaps undermining sustainability goals despite robust laws. Then the question is, what is the solution? What principles could AI regulation be based on? Addressing these challenges requires a multifaceted approach. The first principle should be enhanced transparency, mandating open resource AI models for public control could align accountability and sustainability. The second one is green AI standards. Legal regulation for energy efficient AI could support circular economy. The third element is public participation, so involving citizens in AI governance ensures resilience and equity. And our fourth element, as a trail under this three element, adaptive regulation is the most important. Laws must evolve with the AI advancement to apply the precautionary principle pragmatically. The Catholic Church is also active in outlining the ethical principles of AI regulation. By 2025, the Vatican had established itself as a moral authority in the AI landscape, leveraging documents to guide both theory and practice. The Catholic Church formally entered the AI discussion with the Rome Call for AI Ethics. This document, signed in collaboration with Microsoft, IBM, and the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, outlines 6 principles for AI: transparency, inclusion, accountability, impartiality, reliability, and security privacy. It aimed to ensure AI serves humanity ethically, and it's a great achievement that the Yaki Society joined to this paper. The Apostolic Exhortation Laudate Deum critiqued unchecked technologies and unchecked technological progress, including AI, and called for its reorientation toward ecological and social good. In early 2025, the Vatican issued Antiqua et Nova with the title Note on the Relationship Between Artificial Intelligence and Human Intelligence. Approved by Pope Francis, it framed AI as a good God-given tool for the common good, addressing its applications in education, healthcare and welfare, while cautioning against dehumanization and misuses. It emphasized ethical responsibility and the wisdom of heart. And at the end of my presentation, I would like to say thank you for your attention with the last question that Pope Francis asked on many occasions: do we choose the culture of death or the culture of life? What kind of world we would like to leave to our children, the future generation?